What if you really are perfect, just as the way you are right now? What if you could feel that in every cell of your body? What would that feel like? What would it feel like to actually be able to let go of any of the ideas that you have to be more, or you have to do something better, or you have to become something different? What if you could just actually recognize that any of the ideas you have of doubt about yourself, of self-criticism, they really do just exist as thoughts floating around in your mind, and that they have no other substance than that, no truth to them? How much softer would it be to live your life with replacing "I'm simply not good enough" with "I'm exactly where I'm meant to be"? The lives we experience are reflections of the stories that we tell ourselves all day long. This constant stream of narrative that's in our mind all the time, usually on a sub-perceptual level. And whether we tell ourselves a happy story or a sad story depends entirely on the voice and the meaning it gives to the experiences inside our head. But the words themselves don't carry any truth. The words are just abstract symbols pointing towards meaning. But the words that flood your mind all day, really, they speak with an undeserved authority. It's only a collection of ideas that you've agreed is true that have become the author for your entire reality. Now, this author does act for us as an anchor, keeping us from being adrift in a sea of otherwise meaningless experience. However, if the author is telling us stories which are disempowering, then that same anchor can pull us under the water. So we need to become aware of the author. He pretends to be you, but he's not you. He's quite in the background, in secret, behind the curtain of your conscious mind. But he has a tell. We can know the author through the things we do and how we feel. If the author believes that the world is cruel, then we may well do cruel things. If the author believes that there is no hope, then we probably won't bother trying. But if the author believes in the beauty of the world, then we may just wake up each morning with tears in our eyes, in sheer awe of the magnificence of what we really are. So we must also recognize that the author is neutral. He doesn't know or care whether or not he's telling you a happy or a sad story. He's just trying to make sense of it all, and at the same time, keep you safe, keep you alive. So we can have compassion for where we are right now. But at the same time, the stories can be misguided and can lead us into deep states of suffering, which are really unnecessary. So to avoid that, we need to spot the lies. To spot the lies, we just need to watch how we feel, because if we're thinking something and it leads us to feel anything less than neutral, well, somewhere there we're believing in a lie. And when we notice this, it gives us the opportunity to rewrite the story. We can choose a life which is fulfilling, which is vibrant, which is loving and kind, rather than one based in lack. And as we become more and more aware, we become the author of our stories. And life will reflect back to us these stories all the time.